So Alex, every season of Homeland has its own unique storyline, and it's all ripped from the headlines. Do you have trouble keeping up with what's really going on in the world and what's going on in your show?
Well, that's always the tension of every season. And one thing we wanted to do this year, which is why the show aired later than it usually does, is we wanted the election to be over in the middle of this. In other words, if we had started in September, where we usually start, the election wouldn't have happened until 2 months into the run. So we really wanted to know who became president in the real world and how our show would be relevant. So we were able to adjust midway through the course of writing the episodes, to settle into the fact that Donald Trump was our president. And it really did invigorate and change the direction of the show for the second half of the year. So
yeah, I definitely had the feeling that when you started off, you were expecting sort of a different outcome for the...
I think, wasn't everybody expecting a different outcome? Yeah.
You also find some interesting new things for Carrie to deal with, namely her child being taken away and understanding the human toll that her career choice is taking on her. Can you talk a bit about that?
Well, that's been a theme of the show from the very beginning. You know, how Carrie balances a personal and professional life, and ever since she had the child, that became much more crucial to her. A lot of fans I know think that it's long overdue for somebody from social services to take her child away. But it was the most profound thing to happen this season to her personally, and personally that's what the season is oriented around is she and her daughter.
And setting the season in New York, what did that add to the show?
Well, it added a lot of difficulty at the beginning of the season, just in terms of figuring out what kind of story we could tell in New York about an ex-intelligence officer. And the thing we hit upon was this transition period for the president-elect and Carrie's relationship with that person, and that's what we settled on. So it took us a long time to get there, but ultimately we did, and I think it became oddly relevant as the actual transition took place in real life.
Thank you so much.
Got it.